So I say I know all this information, so how did I get it? How did I study? I can explain. I entered college literally the year that the calculator was invented. I'm literally that old. And at that point in time, it only did addition and subtraction. So I know there's much more information to know now and all of that, but the brain works the same way, no matter what time it is. So what I have to say, how I studied, can be important to you. So here's what I did. The first week of school, the first week of class, before any exams or any assignments were due, I got the textbooks and I read as far ahead as I could on the subject. Usually I read to the first exam. And then what that meant is that when I went to the lectures, I was hearing this information or being exposed to the information for a second time. I'd already saw it once, I'm going to see it yet again. So in the lectures, I always paid very careful attention to what the lecturer was saying. I concentrated, I focused on the important points that they were discussing, because what most lecturers do is they actually put the important points on the exams. So by paying attention to their important points, I was able to basically study for the exam at that point. I also took very careful notes. This is back before calculators and personal computers. So I was getting both audio and the stimulation of writing out those procedures on paper. After the lectures, as soon as I possibly could, I went back and rewrote my notes. Of course, in the lectures I kind of did shorthand, but when I rewrote them in longhand in a different notebook. So that meant that I was actually being exposed to that information yet a third time. To finish this process, what I would do is I'd go to the library, you know, where paperback books are stored, and I would find a textbook, a different textbook, on the same subject, and then I would read the subject that we just talked about in lecture in that textbook. And since that was probably written by another author, it would be written in a different perspective, and different emphasis or different explanations would occur, so it would reinforce yet again that information in my head. This would be like for the fourth time. When I wanted to study further, what I would do is I'd go back to my rewritten lecture notes, and then I would rewrite those or go over those lecture notes, because again, remember, the lecturer was putting out the most important points, and those most important points were very likely going to be in the exam. So in that time I could do 3, 4, 5 more times of exposure, to the point where I could actually answer questions that I asked myself related to the subject. Yes, of course, this takes time, a lot of time, but studying takes time. But if you've noticed, I've been emphasizing the number of times I've been exposed to the information. By the time I've reread the chapters in another textbook, I've been exposed to this material at least 4 times, if not more. So reiteration, repetition, turns out to be really important. So why am I being redundant? Why am I repeating this so much? Well, it turns out to be because of the human brain. Okay, and I have a brain right here in my pocket. Oh, this is my dark brain. But this is the human brain. Now there's a lot of different aspects of the human brain which we will talk about in later episodes, but one of the things that we want to emphasize right now is the levels of memory. There are 3 levels of memory. There's flash memory that lasts only a few seconds, working or short-term memory, which lasts about a half an hour, and long-term memory, which can last an entire lifetime.